Liberty is bought through sacrificial giving. Although life is bestowed by God, Earth has become a wayward planet through the machinations of those who attempt to control God's creatures and enslave man. Man cannot be enslaved when his/her consciousness is free through oneness with God. Man cannot be held in permanent bondage when he/she is raised up to experience freedom through courageous love. As your K-17, I say to all, be aware, awake, mindful, and heart-centered. Being God consciousness is being all of these, blessed ones. For when you focus upon your I Am presence, you are naturally drawn up into a higher level of awareness, wakefulness, mindfulness, and a centered state within your heart. The energy from your source infuses itself throughout your being, and you begin to enjoy a deeper relationship with the divine and with many divine worlds. Yes, there are many divine worlds to experience if you choose to let go of your enslaved past, in which you have been bound by limiting habit patterns and the dialectics of a devious life of denial of your true godhood, your true identity in God's light. These divine worlds are levels of God consciousness and solar awareness that you naturally rise into when your focus becomes crystal clear, when your heart and mind work as one unit, directed toward and upon the great beloved God. There are as many pathways to divine union as there are evolving spirits living within the cosmos. Yet each path may be accelerated through sacrificial giving and courageous love, because these directly result in your liberation into light and your soul freedom. Choosing light over darkness, truth over ignorance, love over fear, mercy over blame, and levity over the woe is me consciousness propels you into the domains of angelic light and intercession. This is actually your natural, higher estate of being that you have temporarily lost, though now it may be your paradise regained. Initiates of the sacred fire are those who invoke the light from heaven into earth's domain through a fiery heart in love with God and devoted to the holy cause of personal and planetary salvation and freedom. The light of the Christ comes to first save and then to secure the soul in her everlasting freedom in God's arms, in heaven's graces. You may only be secure in this estate when you have surrendered the lesser self to embrace the greater God self of your divine presence. This you know, yet at times, through a lapse in consciousness and through focus upon the earthy, you slip back into that ignoble state and mentality that serves not your joyous path of glory unto God's eternal presence. You ask how you can discern whether the different voices within that speak through your mind are of God or of your own human point of reference. To differentiate, you must be still and know that I am God light where you are. You must completely quiet the lesser mind so that the greater mind becomes obvious and evident to you. A more dedicated discipline of daily meditation in silence will yield great results in assisting you in experiencing a higher level of Holy Spirit discernment. Precious hearts. To those who have reached this level through a fastidious practice, you know whereof I speak. And your level of higher hearing has manifest through greater constancy in listening to the inner voice of your conscience, of God within. Part of the work of the legions of the Cosmic Secret Service is to listen intently to all that is transpiring upon earth, especially where decisions are being made by evil ones both in and out of embodiment to continue their strategies of darkness. There is a constant stream of reporting from my legions that occurs in our council chambers. And then, through the prayers of the righteous upon earth, intercession manifests to thwart the schemes of the arch-deceivers and enemies of liberty and freedom. Your prayers to Cyclopeia, the all-seeing eye of God, and Virginia, and Lanello, and me, have yielded a tremendous harvest of light over the years, blessed ones. And we have been able to forestall many terrorist plots and dark plans that could have resulted in greater destruction and the enslavement of many more souls in astral realms and upon earth. Archangel Michael and his legions, thank you for your daily and hourly calls, for these too have averted great calamities upon earth and even beyond your planet. If you could see how many souls have been freed by your collective efforts, your daily broadcast services, conferences, pilgrimages, and other events, dearest ones, you would be amazed. Keep up this important work in the battle of light. Yes, I aver that we are in the battle of Armageddon, and it is an ongoing daily war of light versus darkness. When you are attuned and respond to heaven's requests, we are able to win many smaller skirmishes that are a part of the larger war at hand. These victories are important for the long term. Your daily efforts are imperative for our collective cause to liberate Earth to be freedom's star. Scandinavia is a nexus point for the delivery of light to Earth from Sanakumara and the 144,000 who came to support his mission. We champion you, O soul, who have so consecrated your being to the light over many lifetimes. You have stood firm in your resolve to support the Great White Brotherhood's mission, and to that end, you have given your life time and again for our noble and holy cause. Would that many more would support your efforts and have that same level of constancy, dedication, consecration to the light. Yet one can make the difference. One standing firm in the truth, speaking with the integrity of the I am that I am. And co-create with angels of the sacred fire an aura of protection around nations and continents. And your weekly vigil to bathe Europe in crystal light is one such cosmic endeavor that we rely upon more than you know, and that truly has wrought miracles upon the European continent and beyond. I give regular reports to other councils of the Great White Brotherhood, the Darjeeling Council, the Grand Teton Council, the Indian Council, and all of these reports also ascend to the Christ who sits upon the throne in heaven and adjudicates divine justice upon earth through the release of both light and darkness, in the sense that cosmic justice decrees in response to mankind's works, both of the light and of the darkness. There is much to witness to, and yet witnessing it, we cannot stand by and do nothing. Your calls are the imperative that allow action in the moment. When the need of the hour requires a directed stream of light into certain activities, often preventative in nature and yet also at times to restore balance, harmony, peace, a sense of equanimity. Did you know that some of you even attend some of these sessions in these councils in your higher bodies? And often when you feel a deep, abiding urge to engage in some way in calling upon the Lord for mercy, for justice to manifest upon earth, it is in response to your inner knowledge of what is transpiring both in your own nations and upon the world stage. Your responsiveness is determined by your level of initiatic self-mastery and the victory that you have gotten over many ages over your lesser self in communion with God, the saints of heaven, the virtuous ones who lead our cause. Yes, precious ones, it is a time of peril upon earth, and yet you have embodied during this time, and your salvation is wrapped up in the greater plan of planetary transmutation that is manifesting across this vast globe, both in the heavens and upon the firmament solid of earth. Lest you leave this planet with undone work, I say, continue in your resolve to fulfill all. Make every call that is inspired unto your heart and mind to make. Perceive with new eyes opportunities that arise before you to engage in spiritual discourse with heaven and in spiritual communion with the saints, the angels and the masterful cosmic beings that support your cause. For every time you so engage, an angel is there to support you. A master overshines your work. And you are that nexus of planetary change in the moment when the Word manifests through your voice, your heart, your consciousness wed to God. This messenger has been reading of the life of George Washington and of what he endured during the many years of the Revolutionary War, where America sought her freedom from the powers of tyranny in Great Britain, and finally secured those inalienable rights. So wondrously mentioned in the Declaration of Independence, the United States of America. The inspiration of this one soul who stood firm when all hell was breaking loose around him should goad you, O soul, to fulfill your mission on behalf of your people, those entrusted to you to lead at inner levels, and your constancy and your devotion to God will see you through, will allow you to endure all as you quell the forces of darkness that assail so many and that attempt to snatch the very spirit from the temple of light here and there, unaware of this battle of Armageddon ongoing. Take your cue from Godfrey. Come to our event in Washington, D.C. Feel the fires of freedom that Saint Germain, the goddess of freedom, the goddess of liberty, and many others will invest in America on behalf of the entire planet for world liberation and soul salvation. When you place your body temple at the nexus of planetary transmutation with holy brothers and sisters at our events, dearest ones, the momentum that you have garnered is multiplied by cosmic formulas of light. And our agenda moves forward more swiftly as a result of the greater invocation of dozens and dozens and even hundreds of souls who merge their voices as one to invoke the light to forestall darkness. How can we inspire more to come and to so consecrate their lives, their sacred missions, as a part of ours? We have spoken through many messengers and adjured all to let go of human attachment and to embrace the divine presence fully and to fulfill that holy mission with us. If you would simply give a little bit more each day of your time, your energies, your spiritual fire to make those calls and to be on guard for us, we will defend you come what may. We will warn you in the fray. We will place our mantles of light, our shields of fire around you. And dearest ones, the power of God will flow through you as never before as a result of that which you give selflessly to the Holy One of Israel and of all life. Yes, it is a time of peril, yet it is also a time of divine joy for those who are rising in light and preparing for the great day of their own ascension, having made themselves ready within their white garments through the purity of their consciousness, through prayer and fasting, through consecration and holiness. If you would count yourselves among these, then stay true to who you are. Remain in the light and virtuously live guided by the Christ, the Buddha, the Divine Mother in your midst. I am your K-17. When you ascend, you will learn my true inner name. Until then, I lead the Cosmic Secret Service for victory, 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 day and night, night and day, for God, for country, for a planet, a people, for oneness and joy. I thank you.